I'm so excited, man.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Welcome back. 21 Soul at the Ropeadope Room here in East Philadelphia. I'm excited. Louis Marks.
Fabian Brown.
Pleasure to see you. Pleasure to be here. I'm excited because the selections today are all everything I haven't heard yet. So
yeah,
I can take a guess on who this is.
Uncharted Waters.
Okay.
Expedition. So let's break it down. Let's bring it up for a second and let's listen to the drummer and see if anybody can guess.
That was my clue.
That touch can be none other than Mr. Mike Clark.
Oh my goodness.
Right? Just it's funny how a drummer you don't think of drums as the most expressive instrument, but you can feel the essence of a drummer. Right?
He has his voice. He has a distinct voice on those drums.
Let's bring it up again and think about the bass player.
Okay. You said the bass player. I couldn't stop hearing the saxophone. I'm sorry.
I know. We're going to have to switch it up. So I'm going to say this, that in a recent interview on our podcast, which is coming out, the keys and vibe player said that the saxophonist shreds and takes no prisoners. Young man, I think in his 30s, by the name of Chase Baird.
Yep.
Selected for this band. All right, number 3. Are we ready? No, he's still shredding.
He's going, man.
He's still shredding. Let's try to focus in on that bass.
Give the drummer some.
There's a voice, if you're thinking of the ghost of Mr. Jaco Pastorius, you're not far off because
Felix,
his son,
man,
Felix Pastorius, just channeling the past, the present, and the future right there.
And he's the young cat in the band, right?
No, so I think Felix will be older than Chase. I think so. This is a multi-generational band.
I love it.
Multi-decade, I guess. You know, but one in the 30s, one in the 40s, one in the 60s, one in the 70s.
Wow.
Now let's talk about the person that put this band together with Mr. Mike Clark. Is he coming up, or are we going into the drums?
This is the drum solo, man.
Is it? Yeah, I'm so off. You know, Colonel Bruce Hampton once said, if you're not soloing and I can hear you, you're not doing it right. So kudos to the band leader, Mr. Mark Sherman, who, you know, it's not a name that gets dropped unless you're, you know, in the know and in New York and just know it. But this he played with Leonard Bernstein as a young teen. He's played with everyone. He's a remarkable composer, and he put the band together after a gig playing with Mike. He said, "Let's do something," and they did something, and it's just
solid, man.
Yeah, beautiful thing. The band is called Venture, and the record comes out soon.
I love it. I mean, that's not the only Mike Clark album that is coming out or has came out this year. Via
Mike Clark. Mike Clark called me and said, "How much Mike Clark is too much Mike Clark?" And I said, "There is no such thing. Just bring it." So Middle Blue, his own album Retro Report with Delbert Bump, which is basically an organ
trio,
organ trio, drums, and now this Venture. And then in the fall, we have spoken word poet Tony Adamo.
Oh, my goodness.
Coming out with Mike on the drums. So now we'll take a little trip to Houston, Texas, by way of Brooklyn.
Of course.
Sit back and listen a little bit to Dustlights. So this cat...
Tell me. Please tell me.
Joe Wilson, a member of Caricatura.
Okay.
Which is basically like a... I don't know, like a Balkan / punk / jazz band that we did a couple of records with. But, you know, everything comes here by connection, right? So... Joe came and said, "Well, I've got this record, and it's kind of different." That perked my ears up. Like, okay, let's go. You know, I mean, we're different, so we're for it. And I don't, you know, it's good for people to check it out and see how they define it. I can't define it yet. Do you have any comments on how?
Well, again,
what kind of music would you call this?
First time hearing it, so okay. With that being said, what kind of music would I call it? Well, in the intro, you know, the saxophone taking that lead, you know, it was, I don't know if it was overdubs or some kind of looping pedal, but it was very predominant, spacey, you know, and then it came down to whoo. So strong hit you up front, and then they left it open for the space. Jazz, I mean, I don't know.
It feels kind of ambient.
Very ambient.
It feels like Brian Eno's music for airports in 2018, you know, like after airports are much busier.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not background music, or it is background music or soundtrack music for our lives in a much more confusing and busier world.
Yeah, I mean, my ears are hearing layers on top of layers on top of layers of this.
It sounds so far away, right?
The production's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not familiar with the former albums that you had mentioned. That's a little bit prior to my time here at Ropeadope.
This is nothing like what
nothing like it
with Caricatura. Nothing. I'm just bringing the connection in.
I love it.
Yeah.
So this. Yeah, man, this is. Can you turn it up? Let me. Can I get on this?
Yeah, we'll just bring it.
Yeah.
fascinating what people hear, you know, and what they want to express, you know.
Yeah, I'll be sitting with this album for some time to get my full ears around it and really appreciate the way it should be appreciated.
Feels like a long train ride, like, you know, just take this on the road or just kind of pop it on late at night and, you know, pull out that special blend and just sort of
it's
let it coast.
I hear the controlled improvisation going on, right? So they have definitely a strong, solid form, but everyone is taking the liberties on doing what they want to do within that form, within those sections. Hip, it's hit stuff. I cannot wait to get into this album.
So ironically, we're going to jump into something called SpaceMan.
Okay, it's appropriate.
Which makes sense. Not intentionally. This is from C Knowledge of Digable Planets.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I am the son of Mwanza and Georgina, conceived on the night of me and Sangria. Papa was a rolling stone, so Miss Mama Caesar raised a baby boy alone, just me and my sister. Cry on the river is giving y'all perspective on how a brother thinking exactly where I get it. My papa talked in Kuma and put me on a fader. Mama played that Hall of Notes and now I'm loving daylight. I am the product of good love and struggles. I am that skinny mulatto with many hustles. I am the Doodlebug from Brooklyn to Brussels that taught you how to jazz like that on many levels. I am a fan of the 36 chambers, member of that gang store. I got sticky fingers. I am the last of these rap bohemians, pleased by agent forever supreme beings, man. Yeah, I am the spaceman. I am the spaceman. I am the spaceman. I am the spaceman. Spaceman, I am the spaceman. I'm the spaceman. Interspace, interface, human race. On the streets all day and night, my legs get soaked in time. I'm the spaceman. The spaceman's supposed to fly. On the streets all day and night, my legs get soaked in time. I'm the spaceman. Spaceman's supposed to fly. I am the spaceman. I am the spaceman. I am the spaceman. I am the spaceman.
Yeah, right?
I got a lot of work to do, man. This is great.
I just had to check that, just do a little research myself. So, Doodlebug of Digable Planets, and I think if you check the history, Google it, this is where the band came together.
Okay.
Digable Planets. I think Ladybug, Butterfly were at Howard University, maybe, and then they came together in Philadelphia, and that's where, you know, and connected with C. Just a little thing that I read here right now. It's amazing. Grew up in the West Oak Lane district of Philadelphia. This is not East Philadelphia, by the way. This is real Philadelphia. West Oak Lane. My father was part of the Black Panther Party in Philadelphia. Mom was more conservative, but she knew what time it was, right? So, you know, sets the tone for his upbringing, and, you know, just really looking forward to hearing the rest of this.
Yes.
We just released that Digable Planets live album.
Yep.
And there's a vinyl version, and now C's got his new stuff coming out. Great dude. Have you met him?
I haven't, no.
Yeah, we met him at the... he was over Melody Forrester from Artist First,
right?
Which is the label that this is coming out on through Ropeadope. We met him over at the Killiam Shakespeare record release party when that happened.
Nice.
All right, now we're going to have something unusual and special, which we were supposed to advertise, but I want you, you know this, but I want everybody to just sit back and try to figure out what's going on here. Can you do that?
No.
I'm gonna turn it way down so y'all can't hear any more of this.
Yeah, don't let too much out of the gate.
So they were just here. I want to hear your first impressions of Adam and Kizzy being here with us.
Man, Adam and Kizzy, first from the human to human experience. What vibrant, bright, intelligent, just loving,
purposeful.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know, their relationship as husband and wife is what I think everyone should aspire to. Like in their conversations, in their body language, and everything that they do and talk about and are about. They're a unit. They're one. They're connected.
I still don't know which phone. I don't know if they have separate phones.
Oh yeah, and everything is Adam and Kizzy. Yeah, you know. So when we're talking on Slack, I'm like, I don't know if I'm talking to Adam. I'm not. It doesn't even make a difference.
She'll do that. She'll be like, "It's Kizzy, by the way." Every now and then, because when they realize that other people get confused, they're like, "We speak as one voice," and sometimes that's confusing to people. So we're gonna break it down.
No, I love it. You know, it's funny because as I'm prepping for this album to release, specifically this single. Go ahead. I mean, listen, I can say a lot about this. I mean, I'll try to make it real brief and quick. You know, this track, production-wise, what Kizzy is doing with her voice is I have not heard anyone else do this. I mean, she's
ever.
She's a keyboard player, but with her vocals, right? So she's a phenomenal vocalist, and their background musically, you know, from the different parts of where they come. I think she has like a background in musical theater, you know, and then Adam, you know, yes. A mix from the church. You know, and R&B, and when they came together, it's like a blend of all of their influences, and this album will take you for that journey, and it's an explosion of all that stuff. I don't want to overdo it, but I'm excited about this release. I'm excited.
I'm going nuts about this song.
Yes.
I mean, it fits all of the innovative check boxes for Ropeadope.
True.
And yet I think it's probably the most accessible or potentially popular song that we've ever released.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. And great people. I mean, you know, real quick, what's the background? So Adam and Kizzy, I know Jonathan Scales. You know, how does that
Jonathan found them. He was playing, and they opened for him, I think, in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
And he texted me, and he's like, Adam and Kizzy. And I respect Jonathan, and I said, okay.
Wow. Yeah, some bangers, man.
You're gonna have to check back on that one.
Yeah.
Be ready for Breathless. It's a beautiful love song with guts. Yeah. Real love song. Not a unicorns and rainbows love song, but a real love song. Not just a love song to each other, but a love song to humanity.
Yep.
And to the spirit. To all of it.
I agree.
Breathless. That's what makes us human. That's it.
I have a feeling I know who this is. I think I definitely now know who this is. I do.
It's unmistakable.
Signature sound.
Three letters.
Yep, I knew it.
Capitals.
100%.
All caps.
definitely biased, but some great stuff, man.
Aaron Tolton from Hugh just has a wonderful way of presenting what he hears to the world. And it's testament to that you don't... I mean, I don't really know everything about the cat. You know, maybe he's traveled the world. Maybe he's hung out in a church in Dallas. But I don't think so. I think he's just in tune and hearing like celestial voices without actually having traveled out of his hometown, you know? And so I have to get my head around this whole thing. So Richard X. Bennett did a record that just came out.
Yep.
Right? Called Away from the Many. And then through this, the Ropeadope thing, right? Where people commune and get together and exchange ideas and music, they connected.
Yep.
And then this is a remix album. I think mostly of the songs on Richard Bennett's record.
Yep.
But some of it doesn't like I couldn't match every track up. It's not like track one remix, track 2. There's like they're different track names, so I really have to kind of dig in and find out. But
so tell me a little bit more though. So Richard Bennett, Hugh, both on the label, didn't know one another prior to just connecting via...
Right, so that's what's going on here. I mean, this is the thing. Like, it's not really about us taking credit or anything for it, or just like, you know, we're just here. It's a big... Ropeadope is a big music hall, if you will, where a bunch of musicians just come and hang out, you know? And yes, they connected through this. They probably wouldn't have known each other otherwise.
Wow.
And, you know, it's now becoming a new movement, a new thing. You know, I don't really know what to call it at this point. All we did was just plug a thing in here and a thing in there, you know, and then all of a sudden the network effect is taking over, and you know, a whole new thing is born. So, loving it.
Hands down, my favorite thing about Ropeadope and the artists and the band members of the artists. It's so the relationships is at the front of everything, and guys who obviously come here knowing one another, but it's even more unique to see the guys who don't know one another getting to know one another,
get together
and connecting and collaborating.
Yeah, just the other day, you know, Phil Lassiter from LA was in Germany messaging a guy in Dublin, and they're doing some stuff now. You know, it's all happening because of all these cats, and this is really a scene.
I love it.
At this point, it's just a digital scene. It's like the digital version of the Bluebird or CBGB, or
right.
You know, like that's kind of where we are right now. There's a thing happening. So, man, you know, time just flies. I think that the clock is lost.
There it is.
The clock is right about here. We are going out. That went quickly.
I love it.
It was a learning experience for me. For you, 21 Soul. Where do people find us?
Well, definitely subscribe to us on YouTube. You know, they can find us at downloads.ropeadope.com, ropeadope.com. You know, listen, we're pretty much everywhere. Our focus right now is to, you know, share with a friend. Share. Please leave some comments below, because we want to know that, you know, we want to hear your perspective of the unreleased music that you guys are hearing. So check us out on YouTube.
Beautiful. We're going to take it out with another random connection, which crosses back in a network effect to another connection. Unity, Axel and Amaury have a friend by the name of Javier Santiago.
Okay.
Who put a record together, and here it is at Ropeadope, and one of the tracks, track 8, this is coming out in the summer sometime, or late spring. It's going to be experimental. It's going to be a vibe. But this one features Nicholas Payton.
I knew it.
So we're going to let it go out.
I knew it.
Going to turn it up. Going to refill the whiskey. Going to get back to business.
Cheers to you, man.
21 Soul.
Boom.
Thank you, baby.